Hi, hello there. I'm Steve, the AI teacher guy. Thank you so much for joining my channel, where we teach teachers how to save time and build better resources by leveraging AI. Now, before we jump into the leading question about why Chat GPT is the best karaoke partner, I want to say a huge Dankeschön to our German friends out there who have joined the AI teacher guy community by purchasing my book, Teacher Prompt Secrets. This was incredibly humbling to open up this morning to see that people have bought this book and it's gone global. It's absolutely gobsmacking that this has happened so quickly. So thank you, very much appreciated. For those that haven't seen this book, it's 33 prompts that I've handcrafted with my background as a software engineer and also as an educator with a lot of experience. And as you can see, instead of me just giving you the prompts, it's me actually explaining what my thought patterns were. So that way, I'm not just giving you the fish and saying, here's a prompt. I'm teaching you how to think a little different and make better prompts, which is the goal here. So thank you. Very, very much appreciated. Right, so coming back to the question, why is ChatGPT is the best karaoke partner? So I want to do a little visualization experience with you first. Imagine you're in a bar, it's 11 o'clock at night, you've been belting out your heartfelt songs all night, and then all of a sudden you're singing the last song of the night, but you've forgotten the last verse. So a bit of panic sets in, you're freaking out, you're not quite sure what to say next, but then all of a sudden your ChatGPT buddy pops in, and then all of a sudden they jump on the stage, finish the duet with you, because they know it all back to front. This is exactly what ChatGPT does. Every time you see that little cursor, it's working out mathematically what is the probability that this is the best word that should follow. That is exactly how it works. Now, to show you how this works, I've got a pretty good example here. It's called Guess the Next Word. So pause the video, think about this. You have and then what is the next word that needs to come in there? Now, a lot of people, when we do this exercise, say a dog, a cat, a cow. There's a few words that sort of match that, and they're all right. But we've got to try and work out what's the best word that needs to go in there. What happens if we add in another word? So if we said honor. So just pause the video. So some people will say on a boat, on a car, on a ship, on a train. There's a few more words there. Now, to give it a little bit more context, usually most people will jump in here and they'll say exactly what needs to happen. If I said live in honor, there's probably more people watching this video going, oh, yep, live in honor, and then they know what needs to go. If I give it even more context and say, whoa, live in honor, and then hopefully you picked it up. What happens if I play the music that goes with that? Makes it a lot more clear that that has to be prayer there. And that's the whole idea of what happens with these large language models. The more context that you give it, the easier it is for ChatGPT to work out what the next word is going to be. Now, that could be subtle, abstract things like I just did with the music. It can be the direct words that you've put in, but those subtleties are really important to string together so that your prompts spit out exactly what you're looking for. So this is exactly why ChatGPT is the best karaoke partner. It's able to work out mathematically what is the next word that needs to fill in the gap as it's going. Now, to show you this in practice, I've got a little exercise here. There's 3 things at play with ChatGPT. So it was originally trained on a model with about heaps, terabytes of data that it's been injected into this. And that comes from research papers, the internet, Facebook, all these different sources to help it work out what it needs to say. For those that might remember, ChatGPT 2 had a few troubles with it because it kept saying Donald Trump was the best president, et cetera, because that was what it was trained on. Now, 3 and 4 was a bit more generic, and 4.0 was even more broader. So it's got a lot more data to work from. But like I said, it's got a lot more data to work from, so therefore it's a little bit trickier for it to navigate exactly what it needs to say. When you type something in here, I know, why is AI good for humanity? This is the second part. So the first part is the data set that's already been built, or the engine. The second part is the input that a human will type. And the third part is as it's responding, you'll see a little cursor that is mathematically working out what is the next word that it needs to put in, like the karaoke that we just did before. So the influence of what it's said has a huge impact on what it's going to say for the next word as it's going. So as you can see, there's the cursor, and as it's writing, it doesn't know exactly what it's going to write for the whole thing. It's working out every word as it's going across, which is pretty cool when you think about it. Right, so to help with this is why Venn diagrams visually are super important for trying to work out what you're going to do. So imagine this is all the data inside this box that Chat GPT has been trained on. So this has trillions and trillions of data, like from research papers, internet pages, you name it, books. There's a whole heap of data that's been gone into this to try and help it work out what it needs, how it needs to respond. Every time you put a prompt in or interact with that, you're limiting its chance of choosing other words outside the area. So I like to think of it as little islands that pop up. So every time you put in a prompt or some sort of word, these little islands get formed. Now this puts a little boundary around what is important and what isn't. So by getting rid of the things that aren't important, it makes it mathematically easier for it to choose the word that it needs to say. So by doing this is really, really important. Now, by adding in even more words and more context, it narrows down the area that it needs to search. So instead of all that yellow area, it might now only choose that red area to search for the next word that it needs to say. And then as you give it more context, it narrows it down to a really, really small thing. So every time that word gets generated, it's mathematically working out, this is probably the best word, which is kind of cool. So if we think of it as everything that ChatGPT knows, and we said the word skiing somewhere along in our prompts, this means mathematically words like powder or snow are more likely to come out in the output that we're going to say. Same if we said learn, teach and show might pop up a bit more. And same with fast, speed and quick. By having these little islands pop up inside of everything that it knows, it makes it a little bit easier mathematically for ChatGPT to respond, which is really, really cool. So context is key. And like I said, there's 3 different things that need to happen. First is the trained information that happens inside the engine, whether it's ChatGPT 4.0 or Claude. Then you've got the input, so what you've typed in yourself. Now, this is one of the things that we can control as educators. And hopefully with my prompts that you'll see in this book, you'll see that by writing good prompts helps the output that you're going to get. And then the last one is the output. Now, remember what it says previously has an impact on what it's going to say next. So it's very important that we try and make it measured in the way that it responds, so then it's able to give better outputs as well. And that's why it's linked to being like a Chat GPT Karaoke partner. So when you're running a good prompt, these are the 4 things that I always do. So the first thing is I always give it a good context. I then give it an action. And then these 2 things are the things that are a little bit different that a lot of people haven't done yet. I actually give my prompt a personality. So how is it going to respond? And then I also give it subtle traits. And these 2 things have changed the way that my prompts work. It has made it significantly better and also more personalized in the way that it responds. So moving forward, there's a real big shift that's happening in AI. And this is the same as the Industrial Revolution, in my opinion. So no longer are we using horse and carts, we've gone to cars. That same sort of jump is about to happen now with using AI. So with the introduction of any technology, I always think of the good old story of Prometheus giving fire. Humans can use that fire to cook, or they can use it to destroy. So it's really important we try and work out which way we're going to go. Personally, I always link it to Star Trek and Terminator. We can go the Terminator way and have greed and do all this gnarly stuff. Or, what I hope, we go the Star Trek way, where we work with the technology and try and help humanity do a bit better. I'm hoping for that. And as educators, I have a call to action where you guys need to start thinking, how can I help my students do better? And we need to work out, how do we use this AI to do better? Now, if we as teachers can train ourselves to learn how to use AI, it's going to help our students in the long run. So I like to give you that challenge and see whether or not you can lean into it. My book has been around for, like I said, the last month. It's really, really sort of gaining traction. If you want to purchase it, it's available on either in Kindle or also on Amazon. And the links are down below in the description below. So really appreciate the people that have purchased it so far. And if you have any questions, please shoot me a DM. More than happy to have a chat and talk about AI. I really love it. So that's pretty much it from me. This channel is going to keep growing. At the end of each month on the last Friday, I will run a live session. So if you want to jump on and you've got burning questions that you want to try and work out and try and make a better prompt, please feel free to jump into that. Over the next couple of days, I'm going to go through each of my 33 prompts. So tomorrow, I'm going to release the prompt number 1, which is how to build a proper profile. That is critical for all the prompts that you build in the long run. So the better you make that prompt, the better your output will be. Like I said, the context is king. That's it from me. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please give us a like and subscribe down below, as it does help with the YouTube algorithm and getting the message out there that AI Teacher Guide's prompts will work and help save teachers time and build better resources. Again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Looking forward to working with you guys even further on this. That's it for me. See you next time. Adios.